In this video, we're comparing the ancient ruins of Pergamon in Bergama and the ancient ruins of Ephesus in Selcuk.
Before we get started, we wanted to also say if you're going to be traveling in Turkey and visiting a few historical sites, buy a museum pass. We got the week one and all of these sites were included, so that's definitely a recommendation.
Also, if you're new here, welcome.
And we'd love if you like and subscribe because it really supports our channel. Now let's get back to where we left off.
Goodbye, Marriott Studio.
It has been a lovely 5 days of recovery and we're off to our next adventure.
Tonight we're taking a night bus.
Our very first night bus from Istanbul all the way to Bergama.
That's right.
So
hopefully we sleep.
Yeah.
Gotta wake up. Wakey wakey, we're here. And just like that, we're off the bus.
We made it to Bergama. Wow, my hair's looking lovely.
I slept maybe intermittently every...
I think we slept good.
Yeah, sometimes I slept. I feel crazy though.
Look at that coffee staring at you. Drink some coffee, it'll help. I'll see you out there. There's apples and croissants. Over the next 2 days, we are going to be exploring the ancient ruins of Bergama.
Starting with the Asclepeion, which I think we have all to ourselves.
Like, this is nuts. Just ancient ruins alone. Let's go check it out.
So we made it into the ruins of Asclepeion, which was a demigod slash doctor in ancient Greece.
And what's really neat is he was the first demigod doctor in Greek mythology, so this is kind of where medicine began.
The center of healing.
Yeah, which is also pretty amazing considering the week or 2 weeks we just had. It's a pretty amazing place to start. And
yeah, it's beautiful.
Honestly, just being here feels healing with the nature and the flowers.
So during ancient Greece, or the Hellenistic period, people would come in that were ill through this 1 kilometer road that connected the temple to Pergamon, which was the ancient city. It does feel like a healthy place of healing. It really does.
So this area, as you know, was first established and created by the Greeks, but it was then taken over by the Romans. And when the Romans were here, that's when the theater was built. The theater! Now, you're gonna have to walk up all the stairs to see this view at the top.
What? I can hear a bit of an echo. Speak to me.
Hello!
Okay, now whisper.
Hello.
Just our eyes.
Wow.
Well, it makes sense why this place was the center of healing so many years ago.
Oh, I feel so rejuvenated, and that was a perfect start to our tour of the ruins. Wow. It's the next day, and we are doing some more exploring of ruins here in Bergama.
This is Pergamon city, an ancient Greek and Roman and Byzantine city, right here beside Bergama, right above it.
In walking distance from our Airbnb, like super close. And the city's, yeah, just right below. So we're gonna go
Beautiful
check that
view.
out.
And we're by ourselves again with this little sheep. We're gonna make our way up. I think we're going backwards. We were recommended this by our Airbnb buddies. So we're gonna walk this thing backwards all the way to the top. And obviously today we're trying to get some good views, so it's overcast and slightly rainy.
Classic Keith and Deb fashion. But we're hoping it's not gonna rain too much. We have our rain jackets and hopefully we can keep the camera out the whole time.
It's all good.
Just like we're alone in these ruins. Like you never see this in Canada. You can just walk anywhere. There is a gondola you can take up to the top. We don't know the cost, but we'll put it here.
We got our raincoats on.
Yeah, it's raining. Classic.
There's sheep in the ruins. And you know what? This is where things are unfair. They probably didn't pay to be here.
They're all just staring at us, hanging out in the ruins. This is so nice. So, correction, we're not alone. There's a lot of sheep here with us. So we've met the tourists, they're more up here. Where we just came from was down here, and this is the gym, and it turns out this whole area was where all the people lived. And then up top, this red dot is where we are now, and we're actually going into this sacred area where the temple and the, what's it called? The theater is.
Nice.
Look at how big this is.
So apparently this place was first settled in the 5th century BC, and then Pergamon became more of a city, and they started building it up by 380. This specifically was the fortress and palace. Along the hill was more of the city, and by 188 it was the capital of the Attalid Empire, and the biggest the Attalid Empire had ever been. And then the Romans overtook it, and the city spread even more. Population of 150,000, same as Kingston, Ontario. It's a pretty meaningful place.
And thank you, Keith, for that brief history lesson, but it is really starting to rain, so the camera is going to go away. As you can tell, it's raining outside, so we decided to come to the museum.
It's about a 20-minute walk from the exit of the Acropolis to the Bergama Museum, because the museum's not part of the Acropolis, which I was surprised about.
Yeah, it's right downtown Bergama, so we're gonna go check it out and see if it's worth it.
Looks lovely.
So we're coming to the end of the museum, and we've actually learned a lot about the history, which is really neat.
A lot of English signs.
So if you have the time and one of these passes, we would definitely recommend coming here. It's small, but worth it.
Maybe come here before you go to the Asclepeion and the Acropolis, so you can know more and have a better idea of the vision, what it looked like.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a video about ruins, but we had to quickly say if you're in Bergama, you have to come to Akasya Park Kitchen Coffee Kitchen. It's so good. This is our second meal here today, and you need to come here. We'll link the place below.
This looks a bit not traditional, but we did get really traditional food at lunch, and it was so good. Totally recommend Akasya Park Coffee Kitchen.
Yesterday we left Bergama and took 2 buses. The first one, Bergama to Izmir, and then caught another bus, Izmir to Selcuk, where we are today to explore some more ruins.
Which is a fantastic place. It seems like it's out of this world. There's a castle right there that Devin pointed out that I didn't know about. We're off to the ruins.
It's about a 42-minute walk from our
Airbnb,
so we'll see you at the ruins. We made it in Ephesus! This looks so cool. I'm so excited to explore.
This is unbelievable. And the crowds are not here yet. Knock on wood. Off we go.
This is just so incredible, and we're pretty much all to ourselves. There's a few people, but it's amazing. Ephesus was an ancient port city. Throughout history, it survived multiple attacks and changed hands many times between conquerors.
Wow.
This is insane!
The Library of Celsus is an architectural marvel. It's one of the only remaining libraries of the Roman era, and it was the 3rd largest after Alexandria and Pergamon.
This marble is so cold.
I don't know if it's my face on it.
Oh, today it feels so nice. It's so smooth. Oh, this is just incredible.
Look at the detail on the ceiling there.
You can't describe how incredible this is, and you can imagine the old society, but it's huge. Like, it's just so big. The snack break.
We gotta show the reality of it.
My purse has all the snacks, and he's got all the camera gear.
Cheers.
Priorities.
Chin chin. So we've walked the whole thing, and it is amazing.
It's spectacular. Like, it's huge. Bring your walking shoes.
It's huge,
The water.
it's beautiful, it's peaceful, it smells amazing because it's just so natural. Communal bathroom. Sit and chat and hang with your boys.
Also, we were smart going around and seeing everything first really quickly because it was starting to get busier.
Not that there's that
come
many
early
people.
in the morning.
There's two entrances. We start at the top, and I think the more common one is down
actually
at the bottom.
Okay, so we're now in the terrace, which is where people live, and because we have a museum pass, we're able to get in for free, but it does cost extra if you're just buying a ticket to Ephesus. I also like it's cool in here. If you come on a hot day, you come in here and cool off.
Yeah, this covered area is really quite special because it feels like we're in this ancient building, like inside.
Yeah, they did a really, really good job of, I guess, fixing it up and making it...
Preserving and maintaining all these mosaics and the slabs of marble on the floor and the walls. And
I am just so blown away by the history that is here. It's insane.
layers and layers and layers. And by layers, I mean every couple hundred years being taken over by another civilization and other people, wiped out and then built on top of again.
So it wasn't only conquering that changed the societies and the people that lived here. It was also a lot of earthquakes and fires.
That were set by people.
Or fires caused by earthquakes.
Also, these blooming trees are just filled with bumblebees, and it's a beautiful sight. It's a perfect temperature here today. We're lucky. Hi, Deb.
Feeling very grateful to have this experience. Wow.
We're leaving now. That was very worth it.
So worth
blinding.
it. Wow, we love old ruins, but even if you're not like a big person into history, it's still so incredible to see it all. Like, I just wow.
We had a quick lunch, and now we're in the Ephesus Museum.
Yes, so we're gonna check it out and let you know if it's any good. Again, free entry with our museum pass. The museum has a lot of the amazing sculptures that would actually be on the ruins of the buildings we just visited. Already, visit the museum if you can.
Okay, moral of the story, it is
Definitely worth it to visit. It doesn't take that long, but you learn a lot and get to see a lot of cool statues.
tons of artifacts, very elaborate. Well done. Very nice day. We just enjoyed that while eating here at the top of our Airbnb in this private kitchen.
And so we're quickly going to recommend, if you do come to Selcuk, definitely stay at
The ENA Boutique, Serenity Boutique Hotel. Wow, so the last
my
4 days were really incredible. And
Like-
so here are our concluding thoughts.
Yes, starting with Bergama. First of all, the views at Bergama were insane from the ruins, and we loved the wildlife, the turtles and the sheep. It was just incredible.
We also really enjoyed the fact that Bergama left a lot for the imagination. The city of Bergama is where the old Roman Empire city would have been. And so it was really easy to picture the city and the buildings follow down the cliff and across the valley.
And you can tell just over the centuries, the civilization still today is there. So that was really neat. And going off that, it was so authentic. Like, this is a city that it is off the beaten trail,
It is
not
very
touristy
Turkish.
at all. Just, you're right in the middle of it. And everybody was really kind
It
as
was
well.
very real. But having said that, it is off the beaten path, so it's harder to get to. And the bus stop from our night bus was 20 minutes away from town, and we had to shuttle in, and things are a little harder to find.
And that being said, because it wasn't very touristy, the ruins were a little more run down and more rustic, I guess you could say, compared to Ephesus.
Right, they weren't super well kept, but like we said before, it left a lot for our imagination. But still, there were some really impressive, tall standing ruins at the top of the Acropolis.
That being said, like, it was still mind-blowing and amazing. But now we will move on to Ephesus. Ephesus was a lot easier to get to, and there was a lot more accommodation options.
The ruins there are phenomenal, jaw-dropping, and really well preserved. The museum here also had more artifacts than the museum in Bergama.
The town here also is adorable, really cute. It's also really easy to get here, as in the bus stop is right behind us and our accommodations are just up the hill. That being said, it is really touristy and a lot more westernized here and less traditional, which means more expensive, tourist scams, and it does get a lot busier at the ruins.
In terms of the actual physical ruins, yes, there were more, but the square footage was smaller than the Pergamon ancient ruins. So both were really impressive with incredible history and beautiful nature and jaw-dropping ruins.
Our opinion is if you can, do both. They're so different and so unique that the experiences of both will blow your mind. We would recommend 2 days in each location. You probably could see everything in 1 day per place, but it would be a very big day. So that would be our recommendation.
So that's everything. Let us know if this was helpful at all, and also what you thought based on our videos.
Yeah.
Which place looked better.
Yeah, if you have a preference. So thank you so much for watching. I know this was a bit different than our usual vlogs, but hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in our next video.
See you soon. Thanks for watching.
So
I
what?
was contemplating looking at a flashlight on my phone.
To wake yourself up?
Yeah. Oh, I closed my eyes. Although this is a sacred fountain, I don't think I'd want to drink out of that. Well, it's really raining now, actually. Starting to drizzle, so I might find some shelter. Yeah, I hear you. I gotta focus here. This is a video about the ruins and not the sheep.
These pillars are a lot bigger than they look.
Maybe you have tiny arms.
No. Look at this. Ugh. It's huge. And it's like barely half of it.
Don't fall.
Papa, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, 3 bags full.
You're gonna put me to sleep.
Fun fact, I learned nursery rhymes before I learned to talk. So they're just in my head.
She's still learning how to talk.